All right, Matt, we got a PC build for today.
What is this?
LattePanda.
A latte what?
LattePanda, it's just the name of the company. It's a mini PC.
It's like a Raspberry Pi?
Well, this one's gonna have Windows and it's gonna game.
Really? It can actually game and it's this small? I gotta see what it's all about after a word from today's sponsor.
This is what an average YouTube commenter looks like.
And this is what a Toasty Bros YouTube member looks like, and you can be one too.
Being a YouTube member is awesome because you get things like custom emotes, we'll see your comments first, and on top of that, occasional videos that only you guys get to see.
And coming in at only $2.99 a month, it's a great way to support the Toasty Bros if you guys enjoy our content. So if you guys have become YouTube members, be sure to hit that join button down below. And shout out to you guys for supporting this channel to get us this far. Let's dive into the video.
So this little mini PC was suggested by a viewer, and when I saw LattePanda in chat, I was like, what even is that? And then I went on the website and saw some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we're no strangers to things like Raspberry Pis. We've actually tried to game on them many times, and they have limitations because they are ARM-based platforms that don't really have the ability to run native Windows. But with the LattePanda, you don't have to worry about that. This is x86, comes with a Celeron N100, is that what it is?
4-core, 4-thread.
4-core, 4-thread, so again, already a big step up over a normal Raspberry Pi 5, and we have the ability to add a graphics card to it and do a bunch of fun stuff. So I guess what we're gonna do is go ahead and open it up, get our reactions to it, get everything set up, explain what we had to go with to make it happen, total price and everything, but this is gonna be a fun one because it's gonna be probably one of the smallest gaming PCs we've ever built. So a specific model we got from LattePanda is the Mu kit, which comes with the light board. It's a little bit different than a Raspberry Pi. It isn't an all-in-one setup in the sense to where you have like a board that you're installing a actual like computer chip into. It's much easier to show than explain. Jackson has some key specs he'll talk about while we're unboxing this.
Yeah, so you can get this in a couple different forms and fashions. So basically what Matt means is that the Latte Mu is like a chip that isn't gonna look like much of anything. It kind of is a giant processor that has like the RAM and stuff built into it. And then it comes with a board that you actually install it to called a carrier board.
So here's the actual chip, which has the processor on it with whatever integrated graphics it would come with. But it kind of just looks like a piece of RAM on steroids.
It's basically a credit card, a little smaller. And it does have the RAM and the storage built in. So this one's 64 gigs of what I think is eMMC storage. And then it has DDR5, which is pretty cool. It's 8 gigs. So I'm wondering if I can actually find, I'm assuming it's single channel, but I'm wondering if I can like actually see the chip of RAM somewhere on here. So this is clearly the CPU right here, this giant guy.
And then here's the board that it will go into. So as you can see right here, that chip would slide in right here. I can actually do that just
And
really
this is
quickly.
called the light board, L-I-T-E.
The light board. So it just kind of similar to SODIMM. You slide that in, push it down.
It's broken.
It's broken. It clips in. It looks like you would screw it in right here as well, which I don't know where screws are.
Which I guess you had. Oh yeah, it comes with a bunch of screws.
Yeah, so it comes with screws. So you have that there, and then as you can see here with this board, we have a bunch of other features now. We have all these USB ports, so it looks like 2 USB 3s, 2 standard USBs. We have an HDMI out if you just want to use integrated graphics, Ethernet, power, and a USB-C with, it's a 15-volt power delivery. We also have a PCI slot now, which is a by 4 PCI slot. So you are kind of limited with graphics cards you can do, and Jackson will talk about the power delivery you have to get there to make that work. Looks like we need a CR1220 battery. Do we have one of those?
I don't know if they came with it. Also, I noticed this did not go in all the way.
All right, so we're in here now. And yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. It looks like you can do these little tiny NVMe drives, which are the, which size are they again? The
so
2230s?
2230, which I got at Dotto. It's a Gen 3. You don't want Gen 4. There's no reason for it. I don't know if it's just going to work right. I saw a review of this and someone installed Windows on this instead of putting it onto that slower storage.
I would assume that'd be a lot faster. So actually, I need to take it back out because this cooler needs to install from the bottom here. But as you can see here, there are 3 holes right here for this little heatsink it came with. It has a little fan on it. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's a cool all-in-one kit.
But it seems pretty straightforward. I guess this is like a basic frame it came with.
It does have. Okay, so yeah, one thing I was saying off camera to Matt is I do want to try to get a 3D printed case for this because I don't know if that's going to support the graphics card or not. I guess the bottom should, but I think it'd be really cool to get a full-size, mini PC case, basically.
Yeah, and then we'll actually have a true mini gaming PC. So I guess we'll put the cooler on it.
And while Matt gets the cooler going on the actual LattePanda, I'm gonna go ahead and get this acrylic on. So I finally figured out after a couple minutes, it's just 2 pieces, and you basically just line them up. You'll notice that they have everything perfectly cut out here. And this is just laser cut acrylic. You put it on like that, put your screws through the holes here, and then you just have 4 of them, and then you put the nuts in the back and you're good to go.
So this part's really easy for the cooler. It's just 3 screws, just like a peel on a normal cooler. Be sure to remove this peel. It does come with like a pre-applied thermal pad, which will be nice. It only goes on one way, as you can see where the screw mounts are. So we have to go like this way. Okay.
What do you think, Matt? Better than a stock cooler?
It's easier than a stock cooler. It feels more like doing a laptop cooler or like a GPU cooler.
I like that.
So then we're gonna go ahead and screw this in. Get it started on each side, just get some even pressure.
One thing that's interesting too, I just realized, is that this doesn't come with any type of power, does it? All right, and then I got the acrylic on here, so if you wanna go ahead and pop that in again.
So we'll try this again. So we'll go ahead and line this up and then push down. It's clipped in now. And then we got the two screws for right up there.
This is really coming together.
And this plugs in right here.
And one thing I will say, after rereading the Amazon listing, it does not come with the CMOS battery. So I'm just gonna run to Walgreens after this video and grab it. All right, so yeah, that's in there. So now all we need to do is talk about the other parts that are gonna make up this mini PC. Because right now it would actually work and we could go ahead and get Windows on it, but where's the gaming fun in that?
And to game, we need more storage. So again, we were talking about this 2230 drive. Do you know how much we paid for this?
So I got all the prices. So all in for everything that we're gonna be talking about, we're under 300 bucks, which is pretty cool. We're at 298. That little guy right there, that's $53.99. That's what I paid for it. So it's a little more expensive since it's tiny.
Is this the same standard that the Steam Deck uses?
Yeah, Steam Deck and a lot of the other really small handhelds.
So you won't have any problems finding it. We'll have problems getting it out of this piece of plastic. Oh God, yes. See, does it matter which one? I'm assuming no. So we got two M.2 M keys. So we'll go ahead and install it. We'll install it in this one.
What if they actually gave us the M.2?
So wait, is this one's SATA, this one's NVMe? Or just like the format?
This one's for Wi-Fi, I believe.
Oh, okay, so that's a
slightly different.
So this is the one you need to go into. All right, so we'll put that in there.
And I think what we'll do, and this is a shout out to ETA Prime, is I think we're just gonna skip that 64 gig of, it is flash storage. It's EMC 5.1 eMMC, which maybe, I think I wrote it as at 250 megabytes per second. This is gonna be like a couple thousand. So I think we're just gonna skip that drive altogether. That could be an extra drive. And this is gonna be our main Windows and game drive.
So yeah, we have maximum performance. We don't wanna be bottlenecked by storage because that'd be kind of lame. We wanna see the maximum performance out of the CPU with the graphics card.
All right, so now we have just two more things to talk about here. So far, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's easier than building a PC. So I got two more things on the table here. This right here is the RX 554 gig, and I got this on eBay for around 50 bucks, and it's a solid card. You know, we got DisplayPort, we have two mini DisplayPorts as well. But one thing that kind of drew me to this card is in ETA Prime's video, he tested a 3050 low profile, which there's gonna be some bottlenecking because if you look at the slot here, it's pretty small. This is a X4 slot. So I decided to go with the Gen 3 because this is also a Gen 3 slot. So this is a Gen 3 by 8 card. And from what I was reading, a lot of people saying, these cards almost don't even need the extra 4 and they can just run in X4. So we shouldn't lose much performance.
So you can go all the way up to, again, as you mentioned to the other video, a higher end GPU, but you would be losing the amount of return you're getting for your money for sure.
You ready for this, Jonah? Check out how easy. There's not even a slot to hold it in. That's another reason why I kind of want to 3D print something.
A case would definitely be cool.
And then this is the last part. So I told you guys how you only need USB-C to power this. And right now it would work, except we would not be getting display out. And that is because when you install anything in the X4 slot, which I actually like, check this out. They really do make this very obvious. PCIe slot is only available when you're getting 12 volt DC power. So I bought this separately. You can buy it from Latte's website, but it's a little expensive. So I just got this. This is the DTK. It's 90 watts, so quite a bit of wattage there. And it's 19 volts at 4.74 amps. And there will be links for everything down below if you want to buy any of this. All right, guys, we are testing some Rocket League here, and we are currently running very low settings because we are on the integrated graphics in the N100. So it changed my settings. What the heck? Nice. All right, so high performance, basically everything else off, 1080p, which I think I ran 720 before, so we'll see. Okay, this is kind of working. Oh my God, I'm cooking.
Oh, you're cooking.
Now I'm using mouse and keyboard, so don't make fun of me. I didn't feel like trying to get the controller working, but you know, it's playable. I think we are showing separate wattage here. We're getting slightly different numbers for the GPU and CPU, so I see I think we're pulling a full 30 watts in theory.
In theory, we're pulling 25.6.
Then in that case, then we might not be pushing a full 30 watts. Well, I guess we can't be pushing 30 watts through the CPU. So we might just only be using 15 watts right now on the CPU, which one thing that's cool about the BIOS is you can completely change wattages, which I might try to look at real quick actually after this game. We'll see if we see a difference, we'll come back. If not, then we'll just call it 15 watts good enough. This is playable at really low settings. It just, don't really want to try much more than Rocket League, probably.
Looking 720p, dude, of course.
All right, so now we're in 720p.
They were just, it's a little better. It's unviewable though. Like,
it's smooth now though.
Yeah,
I will say, like, well, 60 FPS smooth, so.
You still got those little frame time, like, hit you giddy ups, you know?
Yeah, that's not bad, okay.
It's more fun.
All right, yeah, let's, I'm gonna, real quick, we're either gonna go to the next game or I'm gonna check the BIOS. Let's see what happens. All right, so real quick, and this is gonna be an update for all the games now. We actually got, I think, a little bit more wattage. Well, now it's going down, but I promise we were hitting around 17 watts. And then our watt meter, you said it got up to like 30 watts.
Yeah, let's see where we are right now. We're down to 25, so it's almost like, did it just throttle a bit? Or, because now we're hovering around the 14 range again.
I've noticed it go down a couple times now and then it'll just randomly go back up. But yeah, we went into the BIOS, McAllister showed it on screen. We got a little bit more FPS here at times, but it could be kind of thermal throttling at times. But hey, for the future test, hopefully we get just a couple more FPS out of this thing.
Next game. All right, guys, we're kind of in CS2. This is definitely an example of a game that would not be recommended to run. We're doing 720p all low, right?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You can reconfirm that this settings stayed whenever you die if you want.
Yeah, let's see.
Probably now.
I'm holding escape. Let's see. 720p on low.
Yep. You don't get lower than that.
Yeah, so this is definitely a game that I think will benefit from the 550 when we do install it. Because, yeah, it's more GPU bound. That GPU is at 100%. The CPU is actually 100% too, but the GPU might actually help out a little bit because we're not stressing the iGPU anymore. But, yeah, it's still really cool for the wattage is what we're getting.
Yeah, I'm curious to see because I know we've tested a couple N100s here on like mini PCs and laptops, and they've just been horrible because it feels like they're at like the lowest possible wattage. They usually either don't pair a GPU at all with them, or if they do, it's it's one that's too good for it. See, when it's playable, it's not terrible.
It's not horrible.
I mean, it's not great.
I mean, I wouldn't queue up comp trying to, you know, up my rank or anything, but
no, you could do global elite.
It's all about expectations, ladies and gentlemen.
Just bought.
Let's go. We're gonna run some Apex Legends next and see what that performs like, and then we'll be close to upgrading with the GPU. I'm excited to see what it can do.
All right, so we're testing Apex Legends. We're just doing the firing range for the N100 because no GPU, Apex, they don't mix very well together. So we're at 720p. We're at the lowest settings possible. I'm even running some adaptive resolution, which at 720p does not look great.
No.
It's definitely kind of a jumbled mess of things, but it's cool that we are playing the game. We're not loading in the guns. There we go. It is. You know, yeah, I just think it's cool that like this is technically still a AAA title, and it is not that hard to run. But on a CPU that, what are we pulling right now wattage wise?
Right at 26.
We're pulling 36 watts on a 26 watts on a tiny little PC that you can hold in your hand. I think that that's pretty insane. But I do think we're due for a little GPU upgrade.
This is what people think DLSS looks like, by the way.
This is frame gen.
This is frame gen. This is what you all think frame gen looks like. You're crazy.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do the GPU install and go from there.
Yes. So tell the people your journey to get to this point.
It's been a few days. We're in different clothes. We've showered a couple. We haven't showered at all.
I haven't showered.
I haven't showered in a week. But anyways, RX 554 gig, awesome card. I'm excited to actually install it inside of this little 4X lane. And like I said, in theory, the only thing we needed to do was use the power adapter. We had the wrong one. If you buy the one straight from LattePanda, the 19 volt, it powers the system, but it does not allow the PCIe to work. So you need to get this guy right here. Any 12 volt power adapter that is you know, anywhere between like 60 and 120 watts should be just fine as long as the barrel jack's the right size. Now Windows reinstalled because we're running the little Datto drive there. We got rid of the EMC storage. I tried just installing Windows on a USB like normal. That did not work. So that was the first hurdle. LattePanda has a special install and it is Windows, but I will say it's like an outdated Windows 11. So it's being weird about updates, but it worked. So that's what matters. And there will be links down below for all these drivers, by the way. But the next issue was getting the actual Intel drivers. You just download the Intel driver assistant, then you'll have your CPU and your chipset drivers. The BIOS update from LattePanda, link down below for that if you want to update the BIOS. I thought that was one of my issues. And then lastly, the Ethernet took so long to get working. I looked everywhere. Finally, I realized that it was just a Realtek LAN driver. So I just went to Realtek's website, link down below, auto driver install, good to go. And now we're finally here ready to install the GPU. Let's go ahead and turn the system off and install it. Power. Another thing we're working on too is we are 3D printing a little case. This is actually revision number 1. It's upside down and it's actually sitting on top of it. But by the end of this video, you guys will see a pretty cool case for this. So this is actually so easy. You ready?
Slot it in.
Ready? Here we go. There's not even like, there's no click even, it just kind of goes in. We do have DisplayPort, so we'll figure that out in a second. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna unplug our USB-C, which funny enough, I think it still will work with both of these, but you don't need both. I don't know what'll even happen if you do both. I just know earlier I was doing it and it was working fine. We're gonna plug this into our watt reader. And then at this point, we just gotta plug in our display and it should just display out. I'll show you guys too real quick how you know if this is working, because I didn't know this. When that LED right there that says PCIe power is on, that means you're getting power to the PCIe lane. I never saw that LED when I was using the 19 volt, but with this bad boy right here, we're good to go.
Let's benchmark it with a graphics card.
All right guys, so we're playing Rocket League once again, and we're running those same 720p, like absolutely low settings with the RX 550 installed now, and it's looking a lot better for sure.
A lot better, 100 plus FPS. So, and that CPU is actually able to breathe a little bit, not having to use the iGPU, and I guess full power. Let's see what we're doing here. So the N100 looks like it's doing about 9 to 10 watts. And all in all, we're pulling 51 watts.
Wow, so we almost doubled our wattage consumption, but yeah, we're getting pretty close to like locked 144. I want to try upping the settings a little bit now. Definitely go back to 1080p. Yeah, this looks a lot better.
Same FPS too.
Yeah, and I think all I did was, what did I do? Yeah, I turned on ATA listing 1080p. We're still low settings. And you know, just so that we can try to maintain like 100 FPS, it seems like this is gonna be about it. But it's so crazy to think what adding, I think we paid around like $30 to $50 for this GPU. It's crazy what that does for a system like this.
High refresh rate Rocket League, baby.
This is it, I got my goal. So yeah, I feel really good about this. I kind of want to see what this will do in you know, a game like Counter-Strike, because that was definitely almost unplayable as well.
CS time. All right guys, we're in CS2 and this is a much more playable experience. We are still running, still got the lockups. Oh,
must be shaders.
Must be shaders. We are still running the 720p low settings. We will go 1080p because I'm curious to see, because look at the GPU usage. It is clearly being CPU bottlenecked, so we're dropping to 2%, 0. Maybe a little more GPU bound, higher textures will make a difference here, but I mean, we're still getting 60 when before we were barely holding 30. So already a double when it comes to the FPS. And I was killed by restarting. Yeah, obviously with all these games, you're definitely seeing it. The frame times are a little bit all over the place. It is still playable, but you know, there's still like little stutters here and there. Oh, that was a little stutter, but I got the kill. Let's go.
Low FPS can't stop you.
Can't stop me. All right, McAllister, I don't know. This might break it, I'll be honest with you. How much time's left in this match? I'm just gonna leave this match, actually. We're gonna leave the match because half the time when you change games, settings and source games in game, it breaks it. So we're just gonna, let's just go to good old 1080p. Okay, so it's a quick match. We got like 50 seconds left here, but it looks better. I'm not performing any better by any means. But yeah, we're a little bit below 60 now. So I still think it's impressive what we pull in, like probably 50 watts still.
58.
58 watts, baby.
So we definitely doubled.
Yeah, so again, same deal. Probably not competitive CS2 ready, but if you're desperate enough and you want to try some CS2, baby, you got it.
Ah! Look how they both turned the corner.
I got 20 seconds to get a kill. Ah, yes.
Hell
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm curious to see what Apex is going to be like. CS2 is definitely a very CPU-bound game, so regardless of the GPU, that N100 is going to cause a little bit of stutters, but Apex tends to be okay with budget CPUs if it has a decent enough GPU. Let's do some Apex.
All right, guys, so we're doing the RX 550 in Apex Legends now. We're still running those same exact settings where it was almost unplayable for, and that adaptive resolution had the game looking like complete garbage, and I gotta say, it doesn't look terrible now, but it is still 720p. So it's funny, we're already using 100% of the GPU though, because this is not a very strong GPU if you guys didn't already guess that.
Yeah, no, but it's running. I mean, it's definitely an improvement over the iGPU.
I would definitely call this playable, but yeah, let's go up to 1080p, which I think would be a little more natural here.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe we weren't fully ready. All right, so 1080p, low settings with no VSync. This is definitely pushing it now. I will say though, the game when you're holding still, it looks a lot better.
It does look a lot better.
Yeah, this is definitely, you probably still need to do a little bit of, you know, some adaptive resolution, because that's really all this game has in terms of helping you out in terms of FPS. And once again, 550, we've done videos before on this. It seems like it should be better than it is, but it's not a great card. It's kind of like a GT 1030. I think it may be even slightly worse in some games.
Yeah, just for the fact that this is a really compact computer, it's still really cool what it can do.
Watts are we pulling now? We're 100%, 100%.
Oh, 71 watts.
71 watts. I'm actually glad we got the 120 watt. I almost bought, I think, like a 65 watt, thinking that was gonna be plenty, but it seems like the 120 is the way to go.
Needs it.
All right, well, I think at this point, just about ready to throw this thing in a case and wrap the video up.
Whoop whoop.
All right, guys, so we're finally ready to wrap up this video after a lot of experimentation. I kind of got a standardized 3D print for a case here that is completely toolless and holds the system in pretty well, but we got the I/O accessible. The GPU is basically kind of what holds in the build, and I think it looks pretty darn cool, but you guys let me know down below what you think. I'm ready to tell you guys about some scores. So for Time Spy without the GPU, we got a score of 375. And then when we added the RX 550, we got a score of 1,256. We also did the Night Raid benchmark, which is really designed for mobile and integrated graphics. We got a score of 4,635 without the GPU. And with the RX 550, we got a score of 10,874.
So as you guys can see from those 3D Mark benchmarks and the general benchmarks we did where we played Rocket League and CS and Apex Legends, when we added that graphics card, this made this a much more playable system. Is this going to replace a normal budget gaming PC? No, but it's a cool project build that's much more, I would say, user-friendly once you follow some of the steps we mentioned in today's video to be able to get a Windows system in a very small compact setup. And yeah, it's kind of a cool twist on a Raspberry Pi.
And that's definitely the biggest advantage here. The fact that it is, once you get past some of the weird quirks, it's very plug and play. You don't have to worry about going through and learning some type of Linux distro, especially if you've never done it before. This one is very much, I just want to play with the mini PC, but I don't want to have to learn all these different command prompts and softwares.
So if you guys want to build one of these yourself, pick up a graphics card for it, or anything we use in today's video, links in the description down below will be affiliate links. They will help us out. Let us know what you think of the LattePanda in the comments down below, and are you considering building one?
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
So believe it or not, this mini PC will be for sale at PCBros.tech. And on top of that, if you don't want to get a mini PC, we got full-size ones too.
PCBros.tech, you can buy gaming PCs we feature here on the channel and weird projects like this. These are really cool, and you could buy one to save a little bit of money using code ToastyBros on checkout to save 3% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.